Everyone dreams of falling in love. Movies tell us time and time again that all you need is love. But what does happily ever after really mean? Movies also show us a different side of love, a negative side where after marriage means fighting and no sex. Movies display marriage and family life as something undesirable and to be avoided. So why do movies push you to fall in love, yet turn around and tell you that marriage is going to be happy? American Beauty tells a story of a family whose American dream turns out to be miserable for them. One memorable quote from the lead male character is, "Our marriage is just for show, a commercial for how normal we are when we're anything but." Revolutionary Road showed us that these unhappy marriages started way before the divorce rates rose. In a quote from the woman character in the movie, she said, "This is what's unrealistic. It's unrealistic for a man with a fine mind to go on working year after year at a job he can't stand, coming home to a place he can't stand, to a wife who's equally unable to stand the same things. And you know what the worst part of it is? Our whole existence here is based on this great premise that we're special. They were superior to the whole thing, but we're not. We're just like everyone else. We bought into the same ridiculous delusion that we have to resign from life and settle down the moment we have children, and we've been punishing each other." In Sex and the City, Carrie Bradshaw pursues Big for years and years. She is overcome with happiness when he finally proposes. Unfortunately, the wedding planning caused many problems for the two of us, and she finally exclaims after he leaves her at the altar, "We are perfectly happy until we decide to live happily ever after." Although Old School is hardly a love story, it does show the attitudes about marriage that are displayed in many comedy movies. Will Ferrell's character exclaims to his friend after he tells him of his engagement, "All right, let me be the first to say congratulations to you then. You get one vagina for the rest of your life. Real smart, Frank. Way to work it through." Blue Valentine gives a depressing look at a couple who has settled for each other and is horribly unhappy. As the lead male role says in this movie, "I feel like men are more romantic than women. When we get married, we marry like one girl, because, we're resistant the whole way until we meet one girl and we think, I'd be an idiot if I didn't marry this girl. She's so great." But it seems like girls get to a place where they just kind of pick the best option. "Oh, he's got a good job." I mean, they spend their whole life looking for Prince Charming, and then they marry the guy who's got a good job. Then we also have those over-the-top movies that sometimes make us want to gag. Twilight is a prime example. In this movie, this girl is willing to die and become a vampire in order to be with the one she loves. It is seen here in a quote between her and her lover Edward. He says, "That's what you dream about, being a monster?" And she replies, "I dream about being with you forever." City of Angels is another supernatural love story that involves a woman and a ghost falling in love. The ghost, to be with her, decides at the end of the movie to become mortal. His love for her is displayed in a quote where he says, "To touch you and to feel you, to be able to hold your hand right now. Do you know what that means to me? Do you? Do you know how much I love you?" In Titanic, the epic love story between Jack and Rose just shows how ridiculous some people can feel that they fall in love within few days. When they're lying on the board freezing and Jack is about to die, he says to her, "Winning that ticket, Rose, was the best thing that ever happened to me. It brought me to you, and I'm thankful for that, Rose. I'm thankful. You must do me this honor. You must promise me you'll survive, that you won't give up, no matter what happens, no matter how hopeless. Promise me now, Rose, and never let go of that." The Notebook, just like all of Nicholas Sparks' books turned to movies, tells us an amazing love story of a couple who find each other after all the obstacles. And as the man in the movie says, "In one respect, I've succeeded as gloriously as anyone who's ever lived. I've loved another with all my heart and soul, and to me, this has always been enough." Moulin Rouge fills us with quotes and misleads us about the importance of love. It has quotes like, "All you need is love," and "Love lifts us up where we belong, where eagles fly, and on a mountain high." But what is this portrayal of love doing to our teens? Is it confusing them, sending them mixed signals? When we are bombarded with all these negative images of marriage, it causes a fear of commitment and anxiety about relationships. Infidelity is something seen in many movies. This casual showing of infidelity teaches people that it is common and almost acceptable. On the other hand, the love conquers all mentality can also have a negative effect on people. It shows men and women that they need to be loved in order to feel validated. Sometimes people are so afraid to be alone that they'll settle for unhappy relationships and sometimes abusive ones. Media producers should work harder to show the spectrum of different relationships. They need to show that each relationship has good and bad days as well as ups and downs. They also should show that marriage is work. With these changes to our media, hopefully we can see a decline in divorce rate and a better satisfaction with marriage. Thank you very much for watching my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.